Well, the age-old question is always asked, how long does a water heater generally last? And this is in the house that I rent here. And this is the water heater, obviously. This is an unusual water heater in that it's a short version. And that notwithstanding, this water heater just now failed. And what happened, it just stopped making hot water. Can't make it any simpler than that. It looks like it's been leaking off and on a little bit, and it did actually leak once since I've been here. I've been here about 2.5 years, and it did have a spell of that. It dripped for a couple hours one day, and I thought I was going to have to notify the landlord that it had failed, but then that stopped and it continued to work fine. It was good, worked good. Water heater worked great. But the main point of this water heater is in pretty rough shape. I'll show you a couple things before I tell you how old it is. If you can see in here, I've got my light down there, but I do have the power cut to this, by the way. But this is, let me get my light, because it's right down here. Can't really see much with it being in the shadows. But you notice we got some rust stains there on the outside already, and that's always a bad sign when you have rust stains on the outside of the water heater. It's got, actually had some over here, but it's probably from the top somehow and it come down there, but that's not the worst of it. You look over, excuse me, you look over here, it's got a little rust on it. So you pull this out, and I'll try to see if I can do this one-handed here with the camera and the light. But you pull this shield out. Look in there. That's where the element, the bottom element goes. It's got two of them, of course. But look at that. Landlord, he took one look at that and they said that's not coming out. Ooh, so it is very, very rusty. So, and then we didn't even look at this one, but you can see it's. Oh, that's probably what happened to it. Look at the outside of that. Oh yeah. Oh. Can you see that? I'm trying to hold the light. Let me adjust something here a little. Oh yeah, that's bad. That's gone. I'll have to show him that when he gets here. He's gonna come tomorrow. He's bringing new water here tomorrow. But yeah, it's done. When you see stuff like that, I was telling him, I said, I'm no water heater expert and I don't like messing with them, but I know enough to know when you see that going on, that's over. It is over. So here's the deal. This thing has got this sticker on it here. It's got the data on it. I don't even need that light now. But this is an A.O. Smith, and I knew it was probably not new, but not very new at all. But you look at the serial number. There's these A.O. Smith water heaters have got different versions of this plate, this data information plate. And if you look down here on the serial number, get this to focus in maybe. You have a model number, and then it's in there below it. You see Cyrano. See those first four digits at MK88? Well, that's the month. Evidently the month and the day, or the day and the month of 1988. This water heater is 26 years old. Now, I don't know how old that is in human years, but it's or water heater years, but it's old. That's an antique, and it's done. It's living a good life. So, and it's got that thing over there. That's a water heater timer. Now, you never know by looking at the outside of it what it is. Smart aleck. But anyway, that's what it is. It's a water heater timer. And that thing is, I'll open it up for you. We can hear you never seen one if I don't fall off this ladder. But shit, it's hard to do this with one hand here. Alright, what it is got it works the same basis as these timers that you use for outdoor lights and things like that. That dial in there just runs off the house electricity, and it's got all those spots on there where you can put those things that are those metal objects in there, depending on what shape they are. Some of those are they turn on and some of they turn off times for the water heater. And what this is supposed to do is it simply turns on, turns off the water heater according to a preset. Whatever you set that, you can set that at different times. Like if you know you're going to leave like at 7 o'clock in the morning, you can have the water heater turn off for you can have it turn off all day until 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, whenever. It doesn't matter. And then it turns back on and runs till you could have it turn off again. You could even have it turn off at 12 midnight. But the thing is they've established that those timers really don't do any good, because the premise is good on it, but the effect is the same as turning your heater or your air conditioner off or way down. Like if you have a central unit like it's in this house, you turn it down and you say, well, I'm going to leave for the day and I'm going to put it on 60 degrees if it's during the winter, and then I'll come back in, I'll turn it on back up to 74 or whatever it is when I get home. Well, the thing is you don't really, it looks good in theory, but you're not really saving, because the heat or air has to work that much harder to get the temperature back up. So you're not saving anything. They say you're better off just running it, constantly at a fairly moderate temperature, which is what I do. And that's the same deal with this thing. The water heater, these things will hold hot water for several hours if they're in good shape. And but the thing is, if you cut it off, there's no free lunch, I guess I should say. You're gonna have to use electricity to heat the water back up. So you're not saving anything. It's what I call it smoke and mirrors. It's a card game. It's a shell game. It looks like you're doing something, but you're not. So anyway, the landlord says probably gonna take this thing out, which that's up to him. It looks like you're gonna have to do some wiring if you do that, because the wire goes from the house into the box and then out there. But that's not up to me. He's calling the plumber in to have it fixed. So I thought I was gonna have to. Landlord, he was thinking this car was gonna have to be moved out of here, and I was hoping not. So I measured the door, and the door's plenty wide enough to get the water heater in. So I have to get all this stuff out of the way so they can maybe scoot that back so I can get all this crap out of the way, so they can have room to work in here, because that's cramped. The cutoff valve is. Hope those guys know what they're doing. Is they're gonna have to be doing some soldering right up there in that corner. Won't set the house on fire. But the cutoff is back there, so that is not gonna be a pleasant place to work. But well, if you know what plumbers make per hour, you don't worry about it. So anyway, here's my video about water heaters, and so there you go. 26-year-old water heater. It's breathed its last. It's dead and gone. A.O. Smith has bit the bullet. See you guys. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.